ran out of money. We ran out of money, and I was staying at Def. Me and Link and Stretch, or me and Link was staying at Def Jeff's house. Shout out to the Soul Brothers, because the Soul Brothers, they danced with Def Jeff at that time.
Yes.
And those was our boys out there.
That's crazy.
We used to have some crazy battles against each other out there in L.A.
Def Jeff crew.
Yeah. And so yeah, man. And
so you didn't get paid until until the whole thing was over?
Huh?
You didn't get paid until the whole thing was done?
We didn't get paid until like weeks after it was filmed, because it was a short movie. It was a short film.
That's right.
It was a short film. So it took about a month. We worked on that. We worked on that job for a month. That was like the biggest pay. It was like big pay, and we worked a lot of hours. It was SAG. It was a SAG job. So we got paid SAG wages.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was deep, but at the same time, we was broke out there. So also while we was out there, we also did In Living Color, because we was trying to get work. So Rosie Perez invited us to do In Living Color. So as Elite Force, we danced on In Living Color as well.
Really? I gotta run through it then. You guys are like when in the middle, like when the Fly Girls come out or something. When is when?
We actually created a routine for us and the Fly Girls.
Word.
So it was like we created a routine, and the Fly Girls learned some of our stuff, plus Rosie choreographed some stuff for them.
Oh wow!
And at that time, J-Lo was down with them too. At that time,
that was the early joints.
Yeah,
the early joint, because
Rosie's
the OG. Motherfuckers forget.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And also Josie.
Oh shit.
Josie too. Yeah, because Josie was in Remember the Time as well.
Right. Okay.
But then she also got the job as a Fly Girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, so let's go to like your style, man, because here's the thing. And this is very, very important. This is what I want to target in on this. Like, this is why I was kind of asking you about the b-boying thing or whatever. Like, you know, to a lot of people don't have a lot of, like, if you're not a part of a certain thing, then you might not understand, different nuances about it. So, you know, people look at dance, hip-hop dance, it's all, to them, sometimes it's all breakdance. I love how you breakdance, you know, I love it. So, like, take us through the transition, because here's the thing. I came up, the first stuff I saw was b-boying, popping, you know what I mean? That was, again, 82. Planet Rock came out, my whole world changed. And it was just like, okay, party people.
That was the sound. Planet Rock was the sound, and breaking and electric boogie was the dance.
Right. So that was I was 6 years old, 82. So party people. I mean, but I remember that. So
yeah.
So going through that, right? I was, you know, I wasn't in New York City. I was young. I was 6 years old, but I had New York City Breaker poster on my wall, and I was all this stuff. So, but then I'm in Connecticut afterwards, and for me, I'm so let's see, 86, I'm 10. 88, I was 12. All right? Critical year for hip hop dancers and videos, everything. I mean, like Scoob and Scrap. So, so from like 86, you know, Steezo's from Connecticut, so like, you know, he was an EPMD joint. You guys to chill. Yeah, so the dancing changed. And it was weird because, again, it kind of just came up to, I mean, that was just what people were doing. Like from the school dances, it went from like being on the floor and doing, you know, windmills and stuff to what you guys were doing. To
party dance. Party dance is what we call social dance.
And and freestyle. And it's weird because when I was teaching and stuff and I was doing my bio for my site,
Yeah, freestyle. You mentioned freestyle because that's something that what the Latinos was doing after they was doing that after the huevo. They was doing the huevo after breaking.
Right.
Because
Okay.
there was a freestyle music and there was a freestyle dance that they called the huevo, and that was freestyle.
So, what do you call the style that you do? Because to me, I just call it, and based on what you guys have said in interviews, and based on what I've understood and how I came up, I just call it hip hop. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is hip hop. It is hip hop. It is hip hop because for us it became hip hop because dancers started dancing behind rappers.
Right.
So stretching them. Stretch was that Stretch had a crew called JAC, and JAC was like Stretch, Tron, Trini, Peter Paul, and they did a show. They did a show at what is it? Was it the Underground? There was some club that they did a show at, and they did a show for Eric B and Rakim, and that was a very big moment for hip hop, and it pretty much it has a lot to do with like people following after that, and rappers also using dancers.
It became a big thing. It was great. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I came to hip hop through dance. So I would, I was pause. Like I was pausing on you guys. Like what I mean. But like, what's that? We was all pausing. Like what's that move? What I mean. Or even in the early '90s, like a lot of the cats that were in the Chill Rob G Court is Now in Session video.
Chill Rob G, yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of you guys are in the Summertime video, Dougie Fresh.
Exactly. So we was also in the Tribe, the Native Tongues joint. My buddy. We also dancing up in that crowd scene.
Word.
Me and Peter Paul and Ade is in My Buddy. Yeah.
Yo, so did you have any beef with when things transitioned, because you guys kind of transitioned the dance to a certain extent, so.
But you know what? That's also because of what dancing was going on at that time. It went from breaking to social dance steps, because you had the Running Man, you had the Alf, you had the WAP.
Yeah.
B Fats came out with a song called the WAP in 1986, and the WAP was, people started doing social dances. People moved to the rap songs that made songs, the rappers who made songs about dances. So when the rappers started making songs about dances, that's where it really became known as hip hop dance, because rappers were making songs.
Right.
Even that Pee Wee Herman, that the Joe Ski Love joint. Let's do the dance called the Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That's early. That's early shit right there.
Yeah, of course.
That's early. That's early. So that whole vibe of the dancer becoming a hip hop dancer comes from the rappers.
Okay, but so then my question though is, like, to this day, I can say that I know hardcore b-boys that, like, it's b-boy or the highway. And so then my question is though, when you were coming, when this shift was happening, when this shift was happening, I mean, I know that it seemed like to me that there were crews or people that still stayed with, like, that didn't transition with that. So, like, I mean, was there any issues, like, as far as in the clubs or whatever, just with, like, crews that was still, like, or anybody like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Or like, that in terms of the earlier when it first started changing.
Nah, you know why? You know why? Because social dance was always there. Social dance was there in the Bronx when b-boying was there. It's just that with b-boying, when the DJs play the breaks, that's the time when the circle will open, and b-boys would do their thing and show their skills. Other than that, the party was still rocking, and people would dance. Social dance was always there. Social dance was there before breaking. So it pretty much kind of returned back to social dance. When breaking and electric boogie died down, we transitioned to to the social dances that was new at the time. So all the new dances that was coming out, we was doing those dances.
Right.
And it was just a natural progression, because the music was changing and we changed with the music.
Gotcha.
So even though we changed with the music, some of us still maintained our original styles. Like myself, I was a boogie boy, so when I went to those clubs, I still boogied in those clubs. So sometimes I boogie, popping, waving and stuff, and then other times I did those social dances until I figured out how to fuse the two.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you travel all around. You do this for a living, from what I understand, right? I mean, this is your job, man. This is what you do.
It's my job. This
is what you do. I mean, and it's great. It's like, I'm always proud to tell people, just like about you, about Link, Stretch, like for you guys are being older and like still dancing, still being like. Here's the thing, longevity says a lot, and so I salute you guys for the longevity and being at the top still. I look at it, to me, you guys are like hip hop dancing's version of DJ Premier. Premier is he's here, and then there's everybody, else. And as long as Premier's still around, then there's still everybody else. And that to me, that's how I kind of look at you guys in terms of still like, I can barely get a hold of you. You're always traveling and doing stuff. So my question is, you're in China and Asia a lot, and when I used to travel to New York all the time, like New York's such a wild city. I mean, what's the vibe like in Asia? Because I always tell people, I'm like, you gotta get to Japan, man, and it's like a lot of things over there. I mean, you guys have been going over there for a long time now. Been over there. I mean,
since the early '90s.
Yeah, like a second home, basically. I mean, Terry's over there. I mean, basically all the time, you guys are over there.
Yeah.
So, how did that first come about? Actually, going to Japan.
Going to Japan. Well, as you know, we did the Well, they already knew about what we were doing, because the Japanese are really good with technology. So they was the first to have those cameras. They was the first to have those small cameras. You remember how we had those big camcorders? Well, they was the first to start making them real small, and they used to come to New York in the early 90s, and they used to go to the clubs that we was going to, Powerhouse, Mars. They used to show up at the Palladium, at Studio 54. They used to show up at the different parties, wherever the dancers were going. You would find some Japanese up in there, and it's crazy. So they would find the dancers and want to have private lessons. So they would pick who they saw would be the dope dancers and ask them, "Can I have your class? Can I have your private lesson?" So it used to happen. We used to give private lessons, and then they wanted to invite us out to Japan. So I think like in probably around maybe 92, some dancers was going out to Japan. And also in 92, we did Wreck and Shop. But after Wreck and Shop released, it blew everything open tremendously. So then it was like, more Japanese was coming to New York because Wrecking Shop was the biggest thing on TV. Once that dropped on Channel 13 on PBS and everybody in Japan got wind of it, they was the first to get wind of it, most likely. And they started inviting dancers to go out there. And I think in 93, there was a company called Rhythm Media. They was inviting dancers out there like in 1993. And I believe Voodoo Ray might have been one of those dancers that went out there at that time. But I know Khalif went out there. And Justice went out there. And some other dancers. I can't remember names right now. But we went out there for the first time as Elite Force in 1994.
Were you guys on the game show?
On the game show? Nah, not the game show.
Oh, okay. There was one joint I seen a video. I saw a video. You guys were on some game show out there. Some like silly, not silly, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, the game shows are just different. Like, it was just like some weird shit. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, and then also
they always have those weird, funny game shows.
Yeah, it was like, you know, the chick's half naked. The dude's kind of got like some funny outfit on, and then all of a sudden it's like, Elite Force, and you're like, whoa, what? Like, you know, here's Link. What the fuck?
Yeah, but you know what? But I'm sure Link has done it. I'm sure Link has done a number of shows out in Japan.
Yeah.
Stretch 2.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of those shows, but as a crew, all three of us together, we did the first Dance the Light Volume 1. We was invited out as the guest judge and performers in 1994.
In 94.
And that was the first time we did a tour around Japan. So we toured around Japan, taught dance all over Japan, and judged the final of Dance the Light Volume 1.
And this was like 90, you said 94?
94.
94. So, yo, like...
And blew up.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to me, man, just because, you know, when I post a video of, like, you know, some of the dope, I mean, because I'm also a house head, so, like, you know, some of the dope, like, hero, you know, like, when I post some of these dancers, I'm like, yo, some of the best cats are, like, from Japan, man. I mean, these poppers, Korea, you know what I mean? Some of the kid, Kite, I mean, there's, you know, some, like...
Kite from Japan.
I mean,
there's so many dope poppers from Japan.
My goodness, and so it's like, it's. I mean, I think it's great, man. I think it's wonderful. I think it shows that, you know, hip hop is a global thing. I mean, it's universal, man.
Yo, it's so big. I think New Yorkers don't have any idea how big it is, and because we travel all over the world. There's a reason why we travel all over the world, because it's that big. It's that big that we get called everywhere to judge and teach and share our knowledge about hip-hop, dance, and culture.
Russia, Poland, I mean, Czechoslovakia, Switzerland.
Kazakhstan, Romania.
I know.
Italy, Germany, everywhere, man. You name it. Africa, you name it. You name it, man. I haven't been to Africa yet, and I'm planning to go soon. But it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
Yeah, how has the traveling impacted you, man, and affected? Like how is that? I always tell people, you know, if you can travel, even if it's within your own state, even if it's within your own country, travel. Yeah. How has that like benefited you? I'm assuming it has.
How has it benefited me traveling? It gave me a much wider perspective on the world. Because I get to be around people from different cultures, not just my own. You learn different things about the way people do things in their country, their customs, their language, you know, their mannerisms, you know, just their way of being. And you know, like for me, the biggest thing is how much they appreciate us, man. We are appreciated so much more overseas than we are at home.
I mean, I get MCs telling me that all the time. I mean, they say, we caking over in Germany, you know, or they love us in Germany. Elder Sensei, yo, he posted big up Elder Sensei, he posted he was in somewhere in Europe recently. He posted a video or a post of a fan that had all of his shit to sign, all of it, every single joint, mixtape, everything. This is the sign. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that there's love out in a lot of places, and I heard that from MCs too. You know,
a lot of love, man. A lot of love. They, you know, because you know, I think the big thing is that they're not from here, and they want to talk to the people who was there. Right. They want to talk to the people who grew up in those times and have knowledge and wisdom about that time because you lived it. So they really appreciate the people who've been there, the realism. That's what they're after. They want to know. They want the knowledge. They want to know everything
they're hungry. The Europeans are hungry.
They're hungry.
I know.
Super hungry. They're super hungry, and they're crazy. They work so hard. They work much harder than we do at obtaining the skills, getting the knowledge, obtaining the skills, training the skills, so that they can represent hip hop in their way in their countries. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The love is major. It's major, man.
And that's what's up, man. I mean, like the thing is, you know, my personal page is carrying the culture, and that's what it's about, yo. It's not about like it's you guys are carrying the culture, like spreading this love of dance because with the dance comes the culture. It comes you can't have the dance without everything else. So with the dance comes the culture and comes all of that. And so it's like, I mean, you know, Germany got some of the best hip hop producers in the world right now. Like facts, big up Snow Goons. You know what I mean? So it's other areas. I mean, there's a Turkish. I just posted a Turkish producer. The kid is ill. I mean, like, so because it almost seems like they're playing they feel like they're playing catch up almost. It's like so they work harder. They're disciplined. They pay attention. They listen because they're soaking. I mean, from what I've understood when I've talked to people about hip hop and stuff over it, they're soaking it all in.
Yeah, they're always soaking it all in.
Give me.
They want, you know, all they want is the knowledge. I'm not saying that's all they want, but they want the knowledge. They want to know how to. They want to know. They want to know how it started. They want to know, you know, the transitions of where it started and why it's where it's at today. And just they want to know everything. Anything that you can tell them, they want to know.
Which is a big difference from the youth in our country right now in terms of this stuff.
The youth here, they care about what's happening right now. I have a program in a public school right now, and the kids, they want to just do the latest dances today. They don't want to learn the old school dances. They don't want to learn that. They're like, that's old. I don't want to learn that. You know. So I'm having a situation with some, you know, 4th and 5th graders who is smelling this trap stuff like ridiculously, and they're on this thing right now. And I understand it's a new time, but it's bananas that they don't have knowledge or even want knowledge about the past. So I'm trying to introduce them to like what hip hop is, what hip hop really is, where it comes from, and what you need to learn aside from what you're learning today. What's popular today is just today. It's today's fad. But we have a history, and you kids need to know your history. It's your history. It's your history, and you should want to know about it. Yeah. All the other kids around the world want to know about it, but you don't want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? It's backwards. It's your, you know what I'm saying? It's your inheritance. That's what it is. You're inheriting hip hop. So you gotta, you know, you gotta use it. You gotta, you know, learn everything you can, and you'll be the ones to carry the culture in the future.
The term hip hop, though, unfortunately, has become such a wide umbrella that anything can be considered hip hop in 2019, and that's the problem because so these kids are coming up with the wrong. Their definition from jump is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Their definite. So, and I always say like it's hard to fault the kid out in Iowa whose first experience to hip hop is like quote unquote hip hop is Future or something like or whatever. Like it's hard because that's what he gets, and then it's like okay, then boom, and then that's what you know. But it's like if your first shit is Eric B and Rakim, oh, and I've talked to many people that have like kind of got their first stuff was more like Soldier Boy and stuff, right? And early on. And they're from Europe. They're from Europe. Yeah, so that was their first Soldier Boy. Yeah. Which, if you're reflecting on it now, Soldier Boy compared to what comes out now, like Soldier.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It's kind of cool compared to what comes out now.
That's how bad it is. Soldier Boy compared to what comes like for real. Someone like let's say, Lil Pump. Soldier Boy. Wow. So you got Soldier Boy, who I would rail on back in the day. Soldier.
Wow.
Lil Pump.
I didn't even think about it like that. But that's true.
Think about how bad it is. Soldier Boy is on the equivalent of like Pharoah Monch or something. I mean, it's all relative, right? Like, it's so bad now though that Soldier Boy. I'm like, oh, okay. Or I could even do the Dougie right now or something. You know, T.P. did the Dougie. I mean, like, damn. You know, but I don't know where I was going with this, but I have no idea, actually. So, but yeah, it's I forgot what I was saying. I don't know. It's all good. But it's pretty crazy, though. We're talking about how it is now, actually.
The kids, yeah, how the kids are now.
How it is right now.
What they see as hip-hop.
They don't, yeah, they just see it differently. I mean, because the umbrella is so wide, and everything's supposedly hip hop. Because, and I've said it before, it's a marketing tactic. Hip hop sells. Hip hop's the number one thing in the world as far as industry. So in terms of media and all that stuff, so you attach hip hop to whatever you're doing, and it's like, oh, this is hip hop, but you know what I mean?
So, is it really hip hop? Yeah, it's terrible because the companies are controlling what's being aired. So, stations are controlling or radio station programmers are controlling what's being aired. So kids are hearing certain things. Right. They're not hearing what they should be hearing. They're not getting a full education on what hip hop is.
Right.
Unfortunately, really, really unfortunately, that's what's happening. They're being, they're being fed. They're being force fed this stuff, and it's a terrible thing because there's so much dope music out there that's not being heard, and there's so much older music that should still be played, and it's not really being played.
Let's talk the music, yo, because this is important to me. You rock to the music. Listen, so it's funny. I took a break from dance. I took a break from life for like 10 years, and basically, I started watching your videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and kind of getting about like 6 years ago, kind of just getting inspired to get loose again or whatever, and and I was watching because I just went back to what I do. I was like, okay, man. I said these cats are still doing it. So I started watching Terry. I started watching you. I started watching Link. I started watching Stretch, and then I watched Record Shop. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm good. You know what I mean? But the thing I wanted to ask you is musically. There's been like 3 videos that you've done. I've done like a judge's solo too.
Right.
That I've Shazammed the track and be like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, so musically, what are you rocking with, man? Like, I need some top 5. I need a bunch of stuff. I need top 5 MCs. I need some stuff because it's about the music. So I need to know. I'll keep it easy. So give me some of your best MCs, some of your favorites.
Some of my favorite MCs is some of my favorite MCs from the past is EPMD, and I really, really a super fan of Das Effects. Das Effects, for me, Das Effects changed the way I dance in some way too. Kind of opened some portal for me to like delve into something else, something deeper in me with the Das Effects music.
We're big up Crazy Drazy. He's showing love to the station on a regular basis. So big
and
up.
Coincidentally, you know what? I don't think I ever saw them perform live until I saw them in Poland.
Really?
I saw them perform in Poland because I was doing a camp out there, and they was performing in Poland.
Huh.
Yeah, Das Effects in Poland.
Okay.
But okay, so
EPMD.
Yeah,
Eric Sermon,
EPMD.
big up Eric Sermon, showing love to the station. Just dropped a new album, Vernia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just dropped a new album recently, yo. Got some Joyce on that, yo. Big up Eric.
One of the nicest ever, man. One of the nicest ever. Redman is one of my all-time favorites.
He is my favorite MC. He's my favorite. He's not the best me, but he's my
Redman.
Okay.
Redman.
All right.
Redman. I'm a big fan of Slum Village.
Okay.
Slum Village. Again, that whole Detroit sound. They brought something to the table that again changed my dance environment. Just the way I saw things, musically, technically, as far as musicality on how I move with music. That Detroit sound. So Jay Dilla music, the stuff he's been doing, you know, the MCs that came out of Detroit, Black Milk. You know, you saw one of the videos that I used, that I danced, and I used Black Milk. But he's not one of my all-time favorite, but 5. The 5th is
Yo, so are you picking this based on what you like rocking to, or just what you like?
Well, first as an MC, I was a big fan of Kool G Rap.
I mean, the dude is
Kool G Rap.
Killer. Still putting out heat, man. Big up G Rap. Yes.
Kool G Rap. You know what? I love so many MCs, but like over the last 20 years, I guess, you know, as a dancer, I'm coming from another perspective.
Of course.
I'm coming from a perspective on how their music makes me move.
Right.
And
yes.
you know, so it's like it's about the rapper's rap style and then the music behind it. Because sometimes rappers are dope rappers that got whack fucking beats. The beats be whack as hell, and I can't get down to a whack beat. I don't want to get down to a whack beat.
I'm the dude in the spot with my whole crew, and my crew growing up, I was always the dude. My crew would, like, if we went somewhere, let's say the music was kind of whack or whatever, sometimes they would try to dance and get loose sometimes, just fuck around. I can't fuck around, yo. I would just stand there until I hear something I like. I'll sit down.
Exactly.
I'll sit there, wait, and then finally, if nothing comes on within like an hour or two, I'm out, yo. Like, I can't pretend, you know what I'm saying? If it either moves me or it doesn't. Like,
yeah, man.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
And I'm not going to get out there as a dancer because other people want to see me dance. People come to you, oh, dance, go ahead and dance. Like, yo, fucking leave me alone, man. I'll dance when I fucking feel the music. Like,
when I feel like it, when I want to dance. I understand that. I get that all the time. And if I'm at a party, and I've been to some parties in some other countries, and the music is crazy whack, and everybody's standing around waiting for me to dance, and I don't, because the music is whack, and I'm not dancing to whack music.
No.
So
I've never heard here's the thing, yo. I've never heard a track from you. I mean, I'm assuming you picked the music for your Judge solo. I mean, I've never heard a track from you that you rocked over where I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that, man? Like, I've heard every beat. Yo, listen, I've got like mad shit from your Judge's solos. I'm like, yo, the shit I played when I made the promo video for this. I don't even like them pro era kids or whatever those. What I don't like them cats really like that, but that shit is hot, kid.
Which one?
The Kirk Franklin shit. You did It's on the Judges solo that I did for the promo video. Peep it after. It's like
is it the one with me and Marquez?
Yes, yeah.
That track?
Yeah. Shit is
That's
fire.
a hot joint.
That shit is fire. That shit is fire. Yo, that shit gets me so hyped, son. I mean, I went and Shazammed it. I found the video, and then this kid was like, I posted. This kid was like, I didn't know you rock with them. I was like, I don't. I was like, I rock with this though. I don't care. I was like, this is hot. I mean, hot music is hot music, yo. It's hot.
Yeah. You know what happens? A lot of times, because I go to these, because I travel a lot. I meet a lot of DJs. There's a lot of DJs that are DJing at these events, and if I don't have my own tracks, like not my tracks, but if I don't have,
if you don't have
if I'm not using something from my collection, I'm not using something from my Judge solo, I'll go through their stuff and like, yo, let me hear some of your tracks that you're going to use for the battles, and if I like something, I'll go through like 20 different songs, and if I hear something that I really want to rock to, I'll rock to that, and I may have never heard it before. Right. So they be getting all kind of remixes, they be getting joints that I never heard before, and then like I'm always like exchanging music with European dancers who there's beat makers, like you said, there's beat makers in Europe that make some dope stuff.
Crazy.
So, I get these beats, man. I get these beats. So if I'm not using Jay Dilla, some track from Jay Dilla, or Black Milk, or I move around. I try to use some old school stuff sometimes, but sometimes I might use some hip hop, electronic kind of stuff that's coming out of Europe, because they be having some dope tracks too.
You don't have to explain. There's some dope music out there, yo. Like some really forget genre, whatever, yo. There's just some dope people are making dope music, yo. Like
they're making dope music. And like my last few Judge solos were I listened to the DJ's music and found something that I like that. Let me rock to that. And I just do it like that, man. So my thing is, man, it's got to be dope. Because I got to get pumped. I got to get pumped to dance. I want to, I want to perform. I want to put on a good show. I want to do my thing. I really want to get down. I need some inspiration to get down.
And that's an important point that you made. I mean, again, to piggyback off of that, like I said, I have to feel the music. And I've always seen in your videos, you're having fun, man. You're having fun, and that's what it's supposed to be. In the end, that's what it's about. Like, beyond all, I mean, at least for me, it was, like, the essence of it was having fun. And it was like, I see in all your videos, you're having a good time, yo. Like, you're having a good time.
I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying.
What you love to do.
Part of the thing for me is, I'm doing all of this while I'm injured too, because I have a hip injury from dancing all my life.
Oh, really?
From dancing kung fu. Over the years I developed like some hip injury. So when you see me out there dancing, it's the music that's taking over, but I'm also dancing in pain.
I understand.
I'm dancing in pain, and I'm not at my best. I'm not at my best because of this injury, but I do the best I can for that time.
Yo,
but
listen,
it's what I deal with, man. It's some real shit, man. It's some real shit.
Yeah, of course. And over the years, I mean, like they pile up. I mean, I got torn Achilles, and no meniscus in either knee from dancing. You know what I'm saying? So, but. It's like, as long as I can walk, I want to do it. I mean, the station and a lot of things have taken me away from it somewhat, but it's like I love to do it. I'm just grateful I can still move around, man. And one question I had before we sign off, though, about a few things is, I became disappointed with the dance scene, and for me, background, Little Wives. I mean, most of my stuff was like battling in like the clubs. New York, Jersey, Boston, Connecticut, all over the place, and then did a few commercials and stuff like that. I had a kid, so I always had to have like a job, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, which was great because that kept me straight. So, but um, but I always rocked, did some choreography, some teaching and stuff like that. But in like for me, again, I'm a little younger than you. Around like '99, to me, '98, '99, 2000. I mean, I was always at shelter. A lot of my house had, like I said, so body and soul. The scenes, things, and again, I'm looking at it more from like a street club perspective than anything, because that's what I grew up in. But like, things kind of changed to me, and it seems like now, yo, as far as the dancing goes, it's a circus act. It's like it's like who does the best flips. Like here's the thing. Let's say I rock out. If I'm in a cipher with some younger heads and some older, or like let's say I go to like a jam or something, and
Right.
heads don't work in a place where I'm not known, and I rock. I mean, because listen, I've kind of, as far as my hip hop style, I've kind of patterned a lot. To be honest with you, I've kind of patterned a lot of that off of you, and be
Thank you, man.
So if I come and rock, just I kind of get the stink eye a little bit. If I'm in a cipher with older heads, they know, okay, this cat's on some East Coast New York shit. Okay,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like this, he's a fucking whatever. So it started to change for me, and I'm being a little bit long-winded, but do you see a difference in like how dancers are coming up now? I mean, it seems like a YouTube thing. It's like who can do the craziest power move. I mean, so I really wanted you to address that before we stop.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely been another shift. There's been another shift in the dance scene. It's been a shift away from our generation. We're now in the new generation. We're not in the same generation.
Whether we want to accept that or not, and I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's my issue. Whether I want to accept it or not.
Well, I have to accept it because that's what it is.
Right.
And I know what I do as a dancer, and I know what kids are doing today.
Okay.
I know what the younger generation are doing today.
Right.
And it's evolved. The dance has evolved. Everybody has taken, as far as hip hop is concerned. Well, let's say for here in New York, the transition here in New York has been from hip hop freestyle to light feet. So light feet is the new generation dance, which probably became popular around 2006 or something like that. So really, it starts with the chick with the Harlem Shake and Chicken Noodle Soup,
Yeah.
and Tone Wop. But now it's evolved into a dance it's a full-fledged dance, but it's the new generation of hip hop. So it is hip hop. That's one thing. Light feet for New York is hip hop, but in the other countries, it's not light feet. It's hip hop, but they also have their own additions to what hip hop is to them because of the new elements that they brought into what hip hop is. So we have our style, what involves grooves and waves and bounce and some animation, but right now it's really animated. It's really animated with a lot of different skills that we weren't using. So
what does that mean for you?
It's changed a lot.
So what does that mean for you?
It means that hip hop has so many different strains. That's what it is. Hip hop has evolved. It has so many different branches right now because you have the French dancers. They have their own strain of what hip hop is. Even though they are influenced by us, they have their own strain, because even within their culture, of France, you know, they're bringing dance from the motherland, from Africa. They're bringing dance, for the French people. They're bringing dance from what they learned from watching videos coming out of the West Coast. They watched us. They watched the West Coast. So they have their OGs, but then they've added the things that they like to do too.
So many ill dancers out of France, man. I mean,
Yeah,
house heads too. I mean, crazy. Oh,
yo, it's ridiculous. The dancers in Germany are ridiculous. The dancers, because I travel around and I see them all and I know them all. I know them all. They all know me at this point. And it's really, really evolved. It went a step up is what's happened. It's evolved upward. But what you will see is a lot of people who are maybe doing videos and they haven't quite found their way yet. So maybe they're not doing it so well. But then there's a lot of dancers who are really fucking it up crazy dope. And I know a lot of them out of France, like I said, out of Japan. But again, a lot of them are really influenced by what we did. And it has evolved. It has evolved to another level. So right now, what dances, so here's the difference. Here's the difference. The way I see it is, back in the days, we were club heads. We used to go to the clubs and just get down and just burn, and develop our styles in the clubs.
Yep.
Develop right there on the spot.
Yep.
It wasn't that we wasn't hanging out in studios. We was developing on the spot. We was creating. Sometimes I would practice at home, but a lot of my practice wasn't really at home.
Yep.
It was more. It was like all night partying.
Yep.
And dancing in the club, and that's how my style developed.
Yes, sir.
But today, they've taken our knowledge and they've practiced it. They've practiced our knowledge, and they always practice. They're always practicing, so they've developed more skills. So right now, the dance scene with hip hop is more skill driven than groove driven. So even though grooving is a skill, and how we dance with the bounce and the techniques we use are skills, they have evolved, because over time things only get better. That's how I see it. When I look at dancers at what they're doing, they're mixing popping, they're mixing breaking, they're mixing tutting, they're mixing threads, they're mixing, because a lot of people are b-boys. People are going from b-boying into hip-hop, like being full-fledged b-boys to dancing hip-hop freestyle, and it's evolved into something else. So, where some dancers from New York, they didn't start with breaking. They started with hip-hop dance, and became freestylers. But the difference is, some dancers are starting as poppers. Some dancers are starting as breakers, and the difference is, today there's so much more information than what we had before, because Poppin' Pete's been teaching, Tony Gogo's been teaching, Sugar Pop's been teaching, and you have this whole new generation of teachers that's come up under the OGs and have developed their own fashions of doing their dance styles.
Right.
So it's evolved a lot, man. So I'm happy about it, because I tell you, man, the last time when I was in Toulon, France, it brought me to, I was choked up when I was judging. I had to stop the battle and talk to people, because I had something to get off my chest, because I was I was so proud. I was so proud at what I was witnessing. I was witnessing a younger me and at 20 years old, at 22, at 25, and I'm watching kids that's 18, 17, 12, 22 rock out, and it just overwhelmed me because we started this shit. We started this shit, and to see where it's gone is amazing to me. We had no idea back in the days that it would be what it is today. It's tremendous, man. Like everybody can have a life as a dancer and be self-sufficient. You know, dance is like it stands alone right now. Even though it's coming out of the hip hop culture, dancers don't have to dance behind artists to have work. You know what I'm saying? So you have the corniness. Of course, the corniness is out there, but I'm going to speak positively. Dance has progressed so much because of YouTube. People got more information. Back in the days, people had VHS, man. People had VHS. There wasn't the internet. Michael Jackson video came up, and Stretch got called by Fatima Washington to assist her as the choreographer. So he flew to LA to assist her, to be her assistant. So then he told Link about it. He told me about it, and he was like, "Yo, I can't do anything, but there's an audition for Michael Jackson's video. They're not flying you out there. They're gonna fly yourself out there." And
so he was okay. Audition. So I'm loving this. So this is what I wanted, man. So he was already. His situation was already straight, right? I mean, like,
his situation was straight.
He did, but he
was the assistant choreographer.
Right, exactly. So he was already good. He was just telling you about, hey, here's what's going on. Like this is what this is the best I can do. But here's the opportunity.
We got the call. At that time I was living in Manhattan. I was living on where was I living? I was living on 32nd Street. Okay. I believe I was living on 32nd Street. 32nd and between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. And the thing was, I didn't have the dough to fly out to LA. So, and neither did Link. We didn't have the money. We didn't have all the money. So we had to ask people. We had to borrow money from people. We had to scrounge money to get money for a flight just to get to LA. And I think with no money to get back.
Right, one-way joint probably, huh?
We had money for the flight and a little bit of pocket change, and really no place to stay. But Fatima said, if you guys come out here, y'all can stay at my place for the night, but you gotta kind of find a place to stay. So, and she already had people staying in her crib, so we flew out to LA, and we were staying in her apartment with like Big Les and Shane, Salima. It was like 4 or 5 girls there, and we went there to stay with her, just so that we can have a chance to at least audition.
We got a loose joint in the building telling us about, this is everybody joining in for Rap FM, telling us about auditioning for the Remember the Time video, Michael Jackson, 1992, right?
Yeah, it was a big audition too, right. Man. Everybody was there. Right. Everybody from LA was there. The line was crazy around the corner for days. Word. And we was just another number. We didn't have carte blanche. We didn't have no hookup. It was like, and rest in peace, John Singleton. He was doing the picking on the dancers.
Rest in peace, John Singleton. Salute.
Salute John Singleton, who just passed away a couple of days ago. But yeah, man, it's the best job I ever had.
Greatest entertainer of all time. I mean, like, so what was that like?
It's I think it's freakish. It's freakish because you know how we grew up idolizing Michael Jackson. We all like idolize him, and even when I used to dance in the street, I used to do my little Michael Jackson moves.
As a dancer,
you know what I'm saying?
As a dancer,
like
every dance,
loving Michael Jackson.
Of course, every dancer, yeah, of course.
Who didn't? Who didn't? He was the greatest entertainer, right?
Had the glove, the jacket, had the jacket, everything. Even if it was like a busted oven mitt, like we had that shit.
Yo. So I audition, and then I hear that Michael Jackson is there, but we don't see him anywhere. He was watching from behind a room with a window, with a see-through window, like a one-way mirror where he could see us, but we can't see him. So that was my first experience knowing that he was there, but I don't see him. But we auditioning.
He's like the Wizard of Oz. He's like the Wizard of Oz behind a curtain.
It's crazy, but it was salute, man. All praise to Michael Jackson because I remember working with Michael Jackson, standing there because we had already worked on a routine for the video, but we had to teach Michael Jackson the routine. So he had to come in and learn the routine with us. So now I'm standing here and we're showing Michael Jackson the routine, and I'm like freaking out, like
you can't believe it. I'm freaking out. It didn't even happen to me.
We are showing Michael Jackson the routine. We had two routines. We had the routine that you see in the video, but then there was another routine that was a 4-man routine, that was a tutting routine that just involved Michael Jackson, Stretch, Link, and myself. But we never got to shoot it because he never really got to practice it completely when he got sick for a couple of days. So they didn't have time to shoot it. But again, just being in the room with him alone and we are teaching him this routine. And it's just crazy, man. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
It's wild. I always
just thinking about what happened, like that experience, that time. It's like taking me back there right now to like being there and him standing there right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like this close.
How old were you at the time?
I was 22.
Okay.
Because it's 1992. I was about 22. Or maybe I was 21. I was going to turn 22 that year. Or I was going to turn 23. Yeah, 22 or 23. But yeah, it was just a great experience, man. And for him to tell you that you're a good dancer, that's the best compliment I ever received from anyone. I remember being on a set, doing a video with him, and then him, I'm walking. It's like we're on break, and we're in Universal Studios, and I'm walking towards him, and he's walking towards me with like his crew and bodyguards, and then he stopped me and said, I just want to tell you that you're a great dancer. And I was like, what? What? Michael Jackson, that was just like the biggest compliment of my life at the time, That's like, it's like you've arrived when someone that great can, tell you that they appreciate what you do as a dancer. That was just the greatest feeling.